had a little bit of extra time to connect with you guys. So I was like, I might as well do an English version of a video that I did a few days ago regarding emotions. Please do help me double check if my audio is sounding okay. I'm actually gonna try to check myself. I was having issues previous to this with my audio. My phone's audio was pretty bad, but I feel I just, as you guys can see, I have a mic on, but I also am on the trial mode. So I would like to see and verify that you guys are able to listen to me clearly, and that I am able to, that you guys are able to hear me. Let me see. Gonna sound a little funky because I'm gonna use my other device to double check it. Let me see. Perfect. Oh my goodness, it's so exciting. All right, all right. All right, so um, today's topic, it's something that I learned not too long ago. I actually started on my personal development and my personal growth around 3 years ago now. I keep saying 2.5, but I feel like it's been almost 3 years. Um, and I feel like this helped me a lot with learning how to cope with things that I went through in my childhood. As I have mentioned before, I was born with a syndrome that is called Perry-Rumberg, and that syndrome got me into a lot of situations. I suffer a lot of bullying throughout my childhood and youth, and I feel like that impacted me a lot because I was not, and no one taught me how to express my emotions, and I was really going through all of them, but I did not know how to express it. So therefore, I felt like I became a person, a very close-minded person, a very defensive person. And once I learned that that was not the way of living, uh, that became it made me had a different perspective on how I was living, and I learned how to be happy and how to accept myself. Um, Learning these emotions. So today's topic is that how do you recognize your emotions first of all, and what help me to get to where I'm at this moment. I'm happy with myself. I accept myself. I would not have done this live videos prior to this because I love myself and I accept myself as how I am at this moment. So therefore, I'm able to put myself out here for everybody to see. I used to think of myself as a monster, as a abnormality of the world, of the community, and I used to be really harsh on myself. And again, I feel like learning about emotions and how to express them, how to digest them, and not keep them inside, and I just eat them in, helped me a lot to recover and to find myself and find the things that I like doing. And I feel like the reason why I started doing these videos in YouTube is because I hoped or I wished when I was younger that there was someone out here like myself. And I've learned that this Perry-Rumberg syndrome that I carried, it's pretty rare. Only one out of 700,000 people carry this syndrome. So it's pretty rare. And for me to be out here, literally last week, I learned of someone in Instagram that has this same syndrome. And it was funny because it took me back to when I was younger. I used to do my hair like this. I used to do my hair like this and take pictures, portrait pictures for MySpace back in the days. Hey, I'm that old. Um, so I used to do my profile pictures like this, covering myself, or just like that, or trying to play with the camera for the camera not to actually show myself. And right now, I feel pretty comfortable showing myself. I feel like this is something that makes me definitely unique. One out of 700,000 people that carries this syndrome. So I am really, really unique to say the least. And yeah, um, I'll start with the topic of the day because I'm already talking too much. But yeah, guys, help me tell me any comment where you guys are listening from, and if you guys have something to say regarding if you were ever taught how to express your emotions or how to deal with them? Um, was it something normal for you? Was it something that you guys never talked about? When I came to America, actually from Mexico, it was better for me. I felt like I was more understood than when I was in my own country. So definitely that helped a lot, but I was still close minded, and my mom was usually at work because she was a single mother. So that made it a little bit hard. But, anyways, going back to the topic, um, it sounds simple, but labeling emotion actually reduces their intensity. And this is something that is proven by neuroscience. Hi, Layla. Layla? Yes. Hello. Where are you listening from? There's examples that I would like to give you. Instead of saying I feel bad, there's other ways of actually expressing yourself with more detail, like saying I feel frustrated, or I feel sad, or I feel nervous, or I feel tired. Um, you can use it in a sentence as I feel bad because random things, right? Example, when I was a kid, I felt bad that people used to comment things about my face because I feel like, first of all, it was pretty rude. And there was a lot of people that I feel like this is something that really got stuck to my head, how adults used to describe to their kids what I had without even asking. So I feel like that made me feel bad and sad because they did not ask me how I felt or what was wrong with me. um, I remember kids asking their parents, and that they would say, "Oh, well, maybe it's an accident happened." That was mostly of what people thought that had happened to me, which is not the case. Like I said, I was born with a syndrome, so therefore, um, this is the appearance that I got from that syndrome. And this happened. It started developing when I was probably 5 years old, and it stopped developing around the age of 15. So it was a progression syndrome that I have. Definitely, Leila. There's a lot of people out here that feel that they're the only ones suffering, or that they're only ones feeling the sadness or a certain way. And there's definitely not. I feel like most of us have felt the same way in different types or in different situations or moments of our lives, right? So there's a thing called Polkin's emotion wheel. It's a chart with basic and secondary emotions. There's actually 49 emotions that we all go through, and it's the start with basic ones. We have joy, we have sadness, we have anger, we have fear, we have disgust, and we have surprise. Those are the primary and basic emotions. And then we refined it. If you put two of them together, then you combine it and you can get one. Example, anger and irritation, resentment and frustration. Yes, definitely. There's a lot of emotions. I did not even know five of the first basic ones. When I heard the first basic ones, I was like, it shocked me to understand that there was a lot of emotions that we all go through. This chart actually shows you, and then there's actually, I have it in Spanish. I don't have it in English. Let me see if I can find it. Actually, it's not nearby, but there's a chart. Like if you you can go one by one, and there's two basic emotions that combine that get you to those 49 ones. So I feel like something that helped me a lot was the emotional journey. Um, I did a journal, and each day I would write down what emotion was the strongest that day. Example, today, the emotion that was strongest today for me was joy. I felt a lot of joy. I actually was babysitting my nephew, that he's 4 years old, and he's pretty energetic. So therefore, I was very joyful to see the how life is so simple for a 4 year old, and how he was discovering, he was amazed with like little things, like a leaf falling onto the water, and that was something that was very amazing for him, and he was having a lot of joy. So he made me feel joyful that whole time that I was with him. So that's the one that the strongest emotion that I felt today. And what triggered it? What emotion triggers you throughout the day? um, Today, what triggered me was my nephew. He was very joyful, he was very happy, he was very adventurous. So therefore, he was the one that triggered that joyfulness within me. And how do you react? How do you react with that emotion? Example, today I felt like I was pretty happy. It made me happy. It made me feel like I was part of something bigger. Like I mentioned, he was very happy and very amazed how the leaves would fall onto the water because it was a rainy day today. And he was imagining that there was like little people. Um, he was saying that there was people on the leaves, like, and they were cruising through the water. So it was pretty amazing how this 4 year old made me feel very joyful and made me realize that those are the little things in life that are very that are free and make you happy. Like this, the view of this 4 year old made me pretty happy today. It was a very happy and joyful day for me today. What could you do different the next time? If it was something negative, example, I'm putting this example today because seriously, I had a blast with my nephew today. For example, the other day I was not feeling that good and I was feeling pretty crappy and I couldn't pinpoint why. But when I do my journal, I was feeling sad because I was not able to accomplish a goal that I had put myself to. Your emotion was neutral. Definitely, yes. Writing it's I feel like writing it's the best option that you have to vent out or to even remember. Yes, my nephew, he's a full hand. And you know what? It's kind of funny because he reminds me when I was a child. He has old vibe, old soul personality. Like the way of his thinking is way out of a 4 year old. Like, you wouldn't think that you're with a 4 year old. Um, Going back to the emotional journal, if I was to say the other day I was sad, and you know what, I realized that what triggered my sadness that particular day was that I did not accomplish that goal. So how did I react to that? Uh, Now that I'm conscious and I feel like I'm able to express the emotions as I go, I feel like I sat down that day and I let myself cry. I felt like I had not done what I wanted to do and that I could have done more. So therefore, I sat down for like around 5 to 10 minutes and I felt sad. I felt the emotion. I let it go through me. As I said, I did cry a little bit. And then eventually I was like, okay, I already went through it. I feel like I'm okay now. Now, what am I going to do about it? Am I going to get stuck here in this emotion of sadness or what am I supposed to do with this, right? So I decided to put myself the same goal and actually advertise my goal, which is to get 100 subscribers within at the end of this month. And as you guys can see, now I'm at 77, so I'm closer to that goal. So I could have let myself be in that sadness the rest of the whole day, but I decided not to. I said I'm gonna put myself to do something, and I actually took action into getting that goal done instead of feeling sorry for myself or feeling bad because I didn't accomplish it when I said that I was gonna accomplish it. And that goes with the other question would be what could you do differently next time? So the next time is put myself maybe a goal that is smaller so I can actually accomplish it. Was pretty intense when I went from having 25 subscribers and then I wanted to get to 100 within the month. That was not a realistic goal, so therefore the next time I feel like I should do a realistic goal so I can actually achieve it and I would not go through this sadness. Letting your emotions go is always the right thing to do. You should keep this bottled up because uh, it always feels better to let your feelings go. Oh, definitely. And it's something that I learned recently too. So as I mentioned, I went through my personal journey, personal development. Around 3 years ago, I went through this institute that showed me how to go through the emotions and actually learn about them. I wasn't aware that there was 49 emotions that we went through. Yes, I hope so too. Hopefully, with the help of you guys, I'm sure that I will be able to. Um, I would be able to accomplish that goal. Yeah, that's what I thought when I read it. That's why I don't know if you noticed that I paused and I was like, wait, I think she meant to say shouldn't. But yeah, definitely, that was me like 3 years ago. I used to keep all of my emotions. If I felt sad, I would you would not have caught me crying 3 years ago. I was not a person that used to know how to cry. Now I cry even with movies, and I feel like it's pretty awesome that I'm able to do that now, because I did not allow myself to do that back in the day. And as I mentioned, I because of my syndrome, I feel like I had to had this strong personality of or a defensive personality. So therefore, I did not allow myself to cry. I actually remember the pact that I did with myself when I was probably around 14 or 15, when I heard overheard someone saying a nasty comment about me, and then I said, you know what, this is the last time that I will cry. I'm not gonna cry from today on. I'm gonna be strong, and I'm not gonna cry. And I didn't realize that I was taking it to the heart, to the point that I didn't shed a tear because I felt bad. The only times that I would actually share tears, and it was really, really seldom, was when I was angry. Yeah, when I used to get mad, that's when a tear or two would come out. Other than that, I would not have, you would not caught me crying. Nowadays is different. I can say I'm probably a crybaby. I can cry. I'm not afraid of showing a tear or my face like puffed up because I was crying. I definitely feel like it's way better to let it out than to get it in, to leave it in your system. The other thing that I can say is listen to your body. Emotions are often felt first in the body, and that's something that I learned too. I'm actually certified as an ontological coach now, and I feel the body expresses itself. You cannot say that you're happy and not show it emotion like in your body, or you can say that you're happy, but if your body does not accompany, it does not is not within sync with that emotion, you can tell right away that someone that you're faking it basically. Definitely, I feel like but you know what I learned to in this process, what I've learned is that all of the people talk because of their experience, their life experience. And I have a good example of that. I feel like as I mentioned, when I was bullied, I became this hard personality. I made a mask of myself, and then you're not gonna be able to hurt me, kind of thing, you know. And I used to be very confrontative with people, and I used to be very, according to me, forward, but I was actually pretty mean. And it's because people were mean to me in my youth, in my childhood. So therefore, that's what I learned to do. So therefore, that's what I used to give the world. But once you learn that what people say is because of what they lived, your perspective changes. And now I just, if people, obviously, we're in a society where things happen, humans are hurt, humans are sad, and they're going through a lot of things. I just don't take it to the heart anymore. I understand now that it doesn't belong to me, that is something that they're going through. Maybe they're not having a good day, maybe something happened, and maybe they were treated that way, that they feel like they should treat like people that way, as I once did. They're definitely very natural. So the first thing, your body is the first thing that tells you pretty forward. Like fear, if someone on the body, you can smell or you can see the fear on them. You might, but usually when you feel fear, you can show it in your stomach. You feel it in your stomach. So if you feel some type of way in your stomach, usually that's the fear. That's how your body feels that emotion. Anger is a tension on your shoulders, or sometimes it feels like a like heat in your heart. When I was angry, I used to feel this flame just like coming towards, like on this part of my chest. And definitely, when you feel some burden in your shoulders, that's anger showing up on your body. And then sadness is pretty heavy. It's a heavy and low energy. And I would ask yourselves, where do I feel this in my body? If there's an emotion that is going through at this moment, where is it that you feel it? You can feel joy in your stomach as well, butterflies, right? When you're happy, when you have a new boyfriend or new partner, what is that? You guys have felt those butterflies in your stomach, right? It feels pretty nice. It feels, you have a good um, like jitteries, or like if someone's tickling your stomach, right? That's how your body is talking to you, and it's showing the emotion. Another way of checking your emotions is a thermometer, and we do this with a rating of 1 to 10 scale, and to rate the intensity of your emotion. So you can say, if example, today, if you're feeling happy, like I was feeling joyful today, and on the scale, the mid scale, I would say I would scale my emotion of joyfulness today at a 7. So it goes from 1 to 3, it's mild, 4 to 6 is modern, and then 7 to 10 is intense. So my emotion of joyfulness today was pretty intense. And then if you evaluate at what rate you're feeling that emotion, this helps you recognize when to act before emotions are overflown. In my case today, it was happiness, but if it was to be sad, or a negative per se emotion, like sadness or anger, then I would be able to do something about it, right? If I feel the intensity of anger at a 4, then that's still okay, right? Sometimes, people label anger as a bad emotion, but it's really not. Anger, actually, you can use it to impulse yourself of getting something done, like a fuel. Whenever you feel nervous, my stomach feels like a knot. Oh, yeah. But when I'm happy, I can hardly sit still. Definitely, yeah. And I would say about that, the nerve, you said when you feel nervous in your stomach, it feels like a knot. The next one will help you. If you use an image or a color to describe that knot that you feel when you feel nervous in your stomach, which color would you say it is, per se? Or some people, when I used to not say what I wanted to say, or my emotions, I used to feel something in my throat, and that felt like a ball, and I used to feel it like it was a red color. And as I can see here on this chart, red is anger. I used to have a lot of anger just eating me inside. Everyone has sad days, and that's okay. Definitely, yeah. Okay, so you see, the nervousness. You said it's either color red or green, and as I mentioned, red is anger, and it doesn't give me green. Blue is actually calmness, gray is sadness, and yellow is joy. And what green? My next question would be, what is green to you? What does it represent as a color? To me, green is life. And this actually especially helps in workshops or with kids, because it allows nonverbal emotions to express. So I noticed that about myself. As I mentioned, I used to not like to go through the emotions or not express my emotions. So it was pretty easy for me to describe my emotions with colors, with the thermometer of emotions. I would be able to describe better what I was feeling, because the only thing I think I only knew two emotions. I was angry and I was happy. Those are the only two that I actually knew that existed. And then some reflective questions that I can ask, or you can ask, about when you're feeling a certain way or with certain emotions, is, what was I thinking right before I felt this? And before I finished, let me go with Layla. It says, green is like life, but sometimes, to me at least, it feels like puke. Oh, okay, okay. And that's what I feel like when I'm nervous. It's a weird description, but that's how I feel. Definitely. So, that's pretty awesome that you say that, because it's like puke, and then you said red, which is anger, right? So nervousness. The other thing that I can ask you would be, when was the first time that you felt that knot in your stomach, at that same intensity, um, with that same color? Did something happen there? If you go back, it doesn't even have to be childhood, maybe a few years ago, a few months ago. When was the first time that you felt that same emotion with that same description of the knot with the color red and green? Because if you go back to that first occasion that happened, sometimes there's a backstory of why you felt this way, and then that got stuck in your system. So therefore, whenever this emotion comes back, it's because you need to go back there to see what happened in that situation to solve it. And once you solve that situation, you will no longer feel this nervousness with this knot and with this color. Going back to the reflection questions, what was I thinking right before I felt this way? Like today, when I was feeling joyful, I actually did my affirmations this morning. And one of the things that I said I was going to do and what my day was going to be like, I said that I was going to have a fun, um, joyful, and happy day. And that's exactly what happened. Um, and the other question would be, what do I need right now? So whenever you're feeling sad, or in this moment, for myself, when today that I was joyful, what do I need right now? Enjoy life. And that's what my nephew showed me, right? That I was in a place where I wanted to, that I needed to enjoy that moment. As I mentioned, he was like giving me this whole story about people, little people being in the leaves, dry leaves, and then the leaves was taken by a little puddle that there was in the backyard. So noticing that life is so simple, and this 4 year old was enjoying so much this imagination of his, this creation that he did in his mind with this simple things that were there for us in nature, um, made me think that I was, today was a day to just be joyful for what I had, and to spend the day with my nephew, which I do it pretty often, but not the way that I did it today. I usually don't take care of him. His mom is always around, so I'm not the one actually watching over him. But today I was actually with him. I was his babysitter. I felt that knot in my stomach when I had a test in school that I thought for sure I failed, but then I realized I got a B on it. And then that knot was went away. Okay, sometimes feelings can control your mind. Definitely, yes. To make it seem like everything will go wrong. Yes, yes, yes. And I'm pretty sure that feeling of not wanting, not thinking that you were gonna fail, comes from a different situation, right? When you might have failed the test and you had studied for it. But definitely, one of the things that I learned in the ontological coaching is that whenever we go through something, good or bad, that stays in our memory. And usually our mind registers it as if it's going to happen again. Your brain works in a way of trying to save you from pain, from sorrow. So therefore, it takes you to the extreme to make you feel safe, or to wanting you to be safe. So therefore, it works in a crazy way, I would say. The other thing that I actually can say is, the other thing that helped me as well is talk to someone that I trusted. And although back in the days I did not have anyone that I felt like was trustworthy, because I was very close minded, I was very defensive. I feel like once I started to opening up myself to certain people, to people that were close to me, example my sisters, I was able to express a lot of the things that I never expressed before. And actually, I feel like siblings is one of the best one. They're the best people that you can talk to, because you guys basically grew up. If you guys grew up in the same household, um, you guys grew up throughout the same situations, so there would be the best ones to understand you. um, but definitely reach out to anybody that you feel like is it's a good listener, and it's not like telling you what you should do. I feel like that's the worst thing that we can do. If we talk to people that tell us what we should do, that's you can you should be careful with that. In the ontological coaching, we coaches believe that every human being has the the power of choosing and being able to resolve every situation. There's a reason why you go through the things that you go through. You're able and you're capable of actually going through and working out whatever situation comes your way. Yeah, even today, I feel like I don't have many people to talk to because my friends aren't so great. But my mom and my dad are always there for me, and it always helps to talk to some. Definitely, parents are. I wish I had my mom that was able to listen to me. Unfortunately, for because of her backstory, because of her childhood, my mom was more of a working person than a emotional person. That's the reason why I was not able to develop this emotional uh, knowledge, right? Um, but definitely, if you have at least one person, it doesn't have to be your friends, it doesn't have to be your siblings. But if you have that one person that you're able to freely express yourself, that definitely helps you a lot. And I mean, I was able to understand that my mom went through. She had a hard life. She had a hard childhood. So I do not uh, have any grudges against her. I am very aware that she went through a lot. Definitely, it's not the same that the same life that we're living right now. It's not the same that she lived when she was younger. She actually didn't have a house. Her dad actually never accepted her as her legitimate child. So it was a tough life for her. So I definitely understand where she's coming from, and I'm very grateful to have her. She was a strong woman, and she showed me a lot. She was just not emotionally ready for that connection with me, and that's okay. I feel like that's the reason why I am the way that I am. And there's always, I feel like we all, as I mentioned, we all get what we were able to bear, per se. Um, it made me a strong person, which I needed to be because of the syndrome that I had. I was able to defend myself. I now no longer need to be that strong person because now I love myself and I accept myself. So I no longer have to have that mask on of being like, you cannot touch me or you cannot do anything to me. I am able to connect with people and I am able to accept people as they are, which I feel like it's the best thing that has happened to me. As any other human being, sometimes I feel sad, and sometimes I feel angry, sometimes I feel happy. Like today was a very joyful day, it really was. But I feel like most of all, understanding that we all are going through different situations and the empathy to with one another, I feel like makes the world a better place for me to live, at least. Yeah, she did. And I also feel like, I mean, she went through a lot. Imagine having a I was not able to notice this in the past, but I feel like I felt bad just for myself because I had the syndrome and I feel like I was going through it bad. But I can only imagine, and I didn't understand how much pain she went through, all of the criticism that she took from outside people, and the pain that she felt, that she thought that the reason why my syndrome came up was because of her. She used to blame herself a lot because of that, and that's the reason why she was not emotionally able and available for me, because she felt like she had done something wrong, and that's the reason why I was born with the syndrome. um, and it was not true at all. I feel like from what I we understand now, because there's little still known about the syndrome, but it's not something that they don't even know where it came from. It's something that has to do with the um, geez, I forget, but it's not passed down from generation to generation, and it's not caused by anything that she did. Not even they even researched my whole family to see if it was because of alcohol abuse, if it was because of drug abuse, which my mom or never did, but my dad was a very alcoholic person, and my great grandparents were very alcoholic people. But it wasn't because of that. They still do not have a certain answer of why this syndrome appears, because it also affects people at random times. It's not something that happens um, to a certain amount of people or to a region of people. It's just like very random, and there's like different levels of this syndrome. I actually got scared when I looked it up online when I was probably 8 or 9 years old. I went to Google and I looked it up, and the first images that I saw there were pretty traumatic for me, and I felt that I was going to end up like that because, like I said, this is a progressive syndrome. It started showing in my forehead, but then it started showing in my nose as well. My nose used to be, if I show you a baby picture, I used to be very symmetrical, but then all of a sudden this started showing up on my forehead. And I can only imagine how my mom felt that this was happening to me, and that all of the things that she went through, because she was also a single mother and she had to take me to the hospital pretty often. And not just that, she had two older girls, and we are all back to back. Like my sister, my older sister and my younger sister were only a year and a half apart, so we were it was just too much. So I can definitely understand, and I do not understand how she actually did it. She was definitely a strong woman. She still is. She is a warrior. She's my hero. I wish I knew how to carry myself like she did, because she went through a lot. She definitely went through a lot. But yes, I went out of the context of this video. But the only thing that I do want to share finally is that emotions are definitely something that are within us and are natural. So none of them are bad, none of them are good. They're neutral. We have different levels of them, and it is okay to feel them. It's just what is not okay is not to express them, or not to go through them, not to process them. I feel like that's the key of being a happier person. If you stop for a second and actually feel what you're feeling, whether it's sadness, whether it's frustration, whether it's happiness, and just let it be on your body and letting it out, it will definitely, it helped me. So I'm sure that it will help you too. And definitely those journals are pretty helpful. Whenever you're feeling sad, or however you're feeling, if you write it down, it makes a whole, it's like talking to somebody. It's pretty healing for you to write or to speak to someone. Oh, thank you. And your mother having all the stress still did a great job at raising you. She really, definitely, yeah, I give my mom props. I can bow down for her at any given time, because she definitely, yeah, she had a hard life. She definitely did have a hard life. So I definitely understand where she's coming from. I did not understand that a few years ago, but throughout the years, with the, like I said, with all of this personal growth, I have learned that we all have a story. At the end of the day, we all have a story. And if you start listening to people's stories, you would be amazed of how much similar everyone is. We are all connected somehow, with a situation, with a story, with the experience. We're all connected. So empathy is the word that I'm taking, or I'm giving you guys today, as to just think about it. How did you want to be treated? Treat others as how you want to be treated. And that's how I definitely feel like I try treating people nowadays, how I wanted to be treated, with compassion, with love, with care. There's a lot of people out there that are hurt, that are sad, that are fearful, that have a lot going on. We don't need more of that. We need some more of the happiness, some more of the joyfulness, and someone to be there for us as well. It is. It's pretty fascinating. Actually, next time that I connect, I'm gonna share a story. I did the uh, trip to Mount Shasta, and it was a healing trip. And I had a journey with the ayahuasca. I don't know if you guys have heard of that. And there's a lot of controversy about that plant, but I felt that it helped me a lot. And one of the things that I kept hearing while I was on that trip was just that we're all connected, that we're all one, we're all one within another, and that the universe is as big as we are, and that we are as big as the universe. That really got stuck to my head, and I feel like that's true. We are seeing within ourselves what's out there. So who you want to be, who do you choose to be, you have the choice of how to be. Uh, from the time that you are 18 and up, I feel like it's your responsibility how you want to live your life. Um, and the choices that you make are definitely yours. And once I became responsible of what my choices were, that also changed my life. I started to, like I said, express my emotions, and I was no longer eating them. So therefore, I became a happier person just because of that. My self-esteem was pretty low when I was a teenager still, but I am doing something about it now. I am telling myself in the mirror. I do this every day where I stare myself on the mirror and say 10, at least 10 things that I like about myself, or 10 things that I recognize about myself the previous day or that same day. So that helps me a lot with my self esteem. And once you have a strong self esteem, it is pretty hard for someone to say something that is going to be hurtful, because you know and you understand that it's not about you, it's about what they're going through. So you don't take it personal. So therefore, it's just like butter on a knife, right? It just falls off. Thank you, Leila. Yes, definitely. I will be here doing more English ones. I do a lot of Spanish ones, but I feel like I wanted to do a mixture of both. As you guys can tell, my English is not perfect, and my Spanish isn't either. I have a combination of both languages. I actually usually I tend to speak English and Spanish mixed, which is kind of weird, but my family's already used to it. So definitely, yes. And the next time I think I'm gonna talk about the importance of language, because I did not know how important it is on how you speak to yourself. Even it's pretty crazy how language is pretty. How do you say it? It can make you or break you, and you have to learn how to be smart of using your words wisely, because you can be your worst enemy if you're putting yourself down. So however you speak to yourself, it's pretty important to for you to talk to yourself nicely and to say kind things, not just to yourself but to others as well. And that language makes your reality. I did not know that. Oh, definitely. Yes, I can definitely also do that. we're gonna we gotta learn a little bit about everything, right? So we can definitely teach Spanish, do a little bit of learning too about that emotion Spanish. Definitely, I'm up for it. So I will definitely, guys. I feel like I'm gonna do it. What time is it right now? It's 10 o'clock. I'm gonna connect tomorrow at 9:30 to do an English version, and then usually I do the Spanish version around 11. I feel like I get more audience at that time in Spanish, but I feel like if it works for everybody, 9:30 to do the English version of my videos, that would work for me. So, and then we can do a Spanish class. Why not? I'm up for it. Well, guys, I am gone for today. It's gonna be a long day tomorrow. PM. I feel like it's PM. That works better for me. AM. It's a busy day. I'm also getting certified soon. I am taking these classes to become a trainer on these personal development classes. I'm taking them in Spanish, but I'm hoping to do them in Spanish and English. So I'll keep you guys posted, but definitely I will be connecting tomorrow at 9:30 so we can have another chat regarding language this time. I feel like that's very important. Oh, sounds good. Okay, well, I'll be here at 9:30 p.m. tomorrow. So at this around this time. Right now it's 10:09 at my. I'm not sure where you're connecting from. I don't know if you told me. I'm sorry if you did. But I will be here at 9:30 Pacific time. I'm in California, so I will be here at the same time to talk to you guys about language. And yes, I will see you guys tomorrow. Have a good night. Bye, Leila.